Hello, I'm Canadian Daddy James. It's already been 2 days since the attempt assassination of Trump is protected by the God, I think. Because the assassination attempt on him on July 13th, Trump was giving a speech as a presidential candidate when someone tried to assassinate him from about 140 meters away on a building roof with an AR-15 rifle. The first shot hit him in the chest, but luckily his bulletproof vest saved him from a fatal injury. The second shot aimed for his head, but just grazed his ear and eye. If it had gone just about 10 centimeters farther, he would have been dead. But, man, Trump got lucky because he happened to turn his head slightly to look at the chart at the exact moment. So the blood only grazed his ear, right here. If he didn't, he would have been hit right in the forehead. Anyway, Trump wasn't seriously hurt, and now there is a possibility he might win this election by a landslide. Even though he got shot in the ear, he still showed a victory gesture like a boss. It feels like he might become a real Fletcher. Remember the Fletcher with the fist up in the sky? Damn, America is something else, giving off that vibe. There was an American flag in the background. And going down. We are a tough country. Times like this, we have reached a point where America and Trump are also synonymous. The vibe right now is leaning that way. Trump has built up stronger image, where Biden has an old age and not so great health. So, relatively speaking, this election is pretty much Trump's to win. So now, the Democrats are left with no choice but to use any means necessary. Biden already seems to be in a tough spot, and now with this shooting incident happening, the Democrats are being pushed into a corner. Anyway, because of this incident, the Republicans are rallying together more, and the moderates are starting to doubt the Democrats, leaning towards supporting Trump. From a Democratic perspective, it's just chaos. They might have to consider putting up a different candidate instead of Biden, which could lead to internal conflict. Elon Musk actively supporting Trump on Twitter doesn't help either. They are even questioning why the security team didn't even do their job properly. It's a mess for Democrats. Yo, it's like, isn't there an insider in the security team? If they investigate the security team, they might find some leads. Look at the current situation. Even other big tech CEOs are posting stuff on Twitter saying this kind of things shouldn't happen. The CEO who hadn't twisted for a year suddenly starts posting on Twitter. Why did the big tech CEO post so quickly? Well, there is a possibility that this whole situation is the work of a specialist who received insider information, and there are actors who are under suspicion. In this situation, if you don't respond quickly, you might end up being targeted for no reason. So, it seems like they are trying to avoid suspicion. The person responsible for protecting former President Trump wasn't even on site, and one witness said there was a suspicious man on the roof holding a crossbow. But they were ignored. They had the interviews and stuff. And when you see things like that, you start to think maybe there is an insider helping out. Now there is a possible of news like this coming out anytime soon. Because of all this, why? Because of the sniper. The location was the Trump's stage, which was closest building. Of course, it was just the highest probability of being shot from the rooftop of the building. Since it's the highest probability, it makes sense to place a guard there. But they didn't. They just had a guard standing next to the Trump stage with a sniper rifle on the roof. And if it was a regular person, they wouldn't have that kind of accuracy of would have tried to get closer to shoot or do something. Of course, now it's difficult to get into the security team as such as close distance. So it might not be hard, right? But first of all, going up means shooting and being able to run away. So going up to the roof and having a long-range sniper rifle from the start means this person already studied the scene. Even a regular person could have surveyed the scene in advance and prepared to shoot, but it's not common. The second suspicion I had was that if it was a regular person, they would have only thought about one shot. They would have thought to end it with one shot. But this person, so like with an AR-15 rifle, you aim once and then shoot once in the chest, because the chest is the biggest target, right? So like the chance of hitting something are high. The chances of causing a fatal injury are high too. But like there's also a chance that it won't be instant kill, you know? So like first you aim there to increase your chance of a successful sniper shot. That's number one. Then you shot right in the chest. And then finally you aim for the head. First you cause a fatal injury, then hitting, and then you finish them off completely. Like when the gunshots were heard 3 times, it means 3 people were shot and killed while watching a speech. When you see something like that, you wonder if this person is really just a regular civilian or someone who received real good training. And like it happened at the exact moment when Trump was giving a speech and then turned his head to look at the chart. So if it had hit him instead, there would have probably been news of his death. So, like some Americans might think that God have Trump today, and I believe so. And if the sniper gets caught or surrenders, they was probably hired to do it. In the words of assassination, things can get pretty decide. Usually killers either snipe and run off themselves when they are in a tight spot. Some might even set up another killer to take the target out as a backup plan. But in this case, the security team took the guy out right in split second. The video of the security team taking him down has made a lot of people suspicious. On Twitter, some are saying that the security team had been targeting the guy all along, aiming and waiting for the right moment to shoot. As soon as they hear the bang, they shoot him dead in less than a second. Some say they knew he was up to no good. Others think they had to kill him to prevent any further trouble. This misunderstanding could lead to a lot of controversy. In the US, this is a big deal. It's like a president getting assassinated a few times. The Kennedy assassination was the biggest one, but there have been many attempts and failed. Trump was also a target. From 2016 and 2022, there were about 4 assassination attempts and things like that because of such situation. Americans freak out when it comes to presidential assassinations. They think that the freak out could potentially target the Democrats. It's a no-brainer. As they say, the dead tell no tales, and the killer was shot on the roof. If Trump and the killer both died, it would have been a mess. Now let's think about what might happen in the future. Politically, Trump now has a chance to dominate, and the Republic will start doubting the Democrats. Companies supporting the Democrats might face attacks on policies they are promoting. But these big companies supporting the Democrats have a lot of marketization. If they come under attack or face bad publicity, it could affect the country negatively. Trump supporters who occupied the Congress during the past election might engage in violent actions this time if Trump doesn't ask them to. I'm not sure. It might not just stop at the level of boycotting. When the Democratic candidates give a speech, will Trump supporters just sit still? If Trump doesn't make any provoking remarks, it's possible that it could turn out that way. If there is a clash between the candidates now, it could lead to a civil war-like chaos. This is a new risk in the stock market. In fact, there was a news that more than 40% of Americans said there's a high chance of civil war within 10 years. To the extent that it could even be in a movie. Americans are feeling uneasy about it. This concern is turning into belief in US. As income inequality, racial conflicts, and political tensions worsen, Ray Dalio says, out of 18 stages of empire decline, the USA is at stage 15 of internal conflict. Next is stage 16, which is losing reverse currency status. China and Russia are preparing for the future with blockchain currency at stage 16 and stage 17. Is weak leadership. If not a strong president like Trump, if we have a weak USA president, we won't be able to control China and Russia. The last 18 steps are a civil war. Most empires have fallen into a civil war. When the news of Trump being shot came out, Bitcoin suddenly went up for some reason, but when the news of Trump being unharmed came out, the price went back down again. The stock market didn't open, but now there is a possibility that Trump-related industries will go up in the short term. When it comes to Trump-related stocks, there are things like DJT in the Democratic Party, and they might fluctuate for a few days. It seems like no matter how the Democratic candidate is, they won't be able to beat Trump, who is now alive and angry. The Trump's anger could be directed at that candidate, so his supporters might attack that candidate. Candidates are wary of that. Oh, I don't think this atmosphere, I want it to go away. This could happen. In the long run, it doesn't matter as long as there is no internal turmoil in the US. But if there is, it could be a problem for a stock market. It's not just a policy battle anymore. It's an internal conflict in the US. If you keep bashing between others, society will be chaotic and the economy will become uncertain. And now the negative coverage about Trump might change to knowing the truth about him. For example, during Obama's time, he bombed 7 countries in 6 years. And in 2017, he used 26,000 bombs. On the other hand, Trump signed 7 peace treaties, while Biden is fighting wars in 2 places and allocating huge war support funds in the USA budget. With the USA facing a serious financial deficit due to a long wars, it's hard to say who is a most powerful person. No, who is a more peaceful person. This might even make Trump look like a peaceful one. Now there is a greater possibility of a Democratic candidate being replaced with prominent figures like Pelosi demanding Biden's replacement. With this scandal breaking out, it seems like Biden might be replaced. The problem with the USA Democratic Party is that they cannot beat Trump with Biden. And the candidates to replace Biden also can beat Trump. So the point is, there are suspicions that the handshake this time was a sign. Even if Trump disappears, it won't be easy for another Republican candidate to beat Biden. Resigning as a candidate might be the best option for Democrats, especially since it's connected all the way to Obama. If that news comes out, there is a possibility Michelle Obama might run this time. Among the most likely candidates, Kamala Harris is there, but her image as vice president isn't that great. She's been unclear about her identity, even saying she's Indian in the past, so she might not be able to replace Trump, who is just so popular. Let's look at Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. He's done well in California, but because he has extreme position compared to Trump. Maybe he could be a response. It might be a bit difficult for a white candidate to win over black voters. The California is just two. The image is strong. So covering other areas might be a bit tough with his image. Right? Now the third one is Michelle Obama. I think she's the most likely candidate, first of all, because of Obama's first lady image. She can carry on with Obama's image. The downside is that she lacks political experience. But hey, her husband was the president. She's someone who can overcome the lack of experience, so she could be a strong candidate, don't you think? Right now, the Democratic Party doesn't have many options left. They have to throw the dice. It's not a high chance, but in a situation where you have to take a risk, Michelle Obama seems like the most likely candidates. That's how I see it. As for the stock market, I'll make a video after a bit more time passes. It's been a tough weekend with some big events happening, but thankfully, it didn't turn into a major disaster. I'm grateful for that and hope it doesn't lead to social chaos. I'll bring you more information next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notification. Thank you for watching. Bye.